Okay, mic is on. Let me turn on my desktop audio, put on the music. Which should have been playing already, but my bad. Hello. Oh, where'd it go? It's alright, play it again. Now, we should have some music. There we are. Probably far too loud. Turn that down a good bit. Turn it down for myself too. It's blasting my ears. Now, let's have a look at the chat. Say hello to everybody. Hello, hello. Hello, Ambers. Hello. Hello, Swordplay and Sorcery. Welcome, welcome. Howdy, howdy. Hello, Hammock. Howdy, howdy, fellas. Howdy do. Hello, Rose. Hello. Over there on the sofa as well. Hello, Harmon Samra. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We've got Mercy. Oh, wait. We have a special guest. We got Blue. Whoop. Headbutting the mic. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm just here for a special announcement that I am a dog, and I think you should all know. Could use you as a... Oh, hello. Oh, cuddling. We're going to say hello to everybody on the stream. How does that feel? Okay, you just giving me all your body weight. You just flopped down. Is that nice? You comfy? Okay, I'm gonna go say hello to some people. Trying to help me. Okay. Hello, everyone. Wow, all of you jumping in here with your messages. Hold up, let me catch up a little bit here. So, Marcelius Bird, I hope I pronounced that right. Welcome, welcome. You said you were told to come out and hang out. Yes, hello. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Thank you so much. Welcome. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a bunch of questions and Q&A kind of stuff in this stream, but we'll get to that soon. I'll say hello to everybody, and yeah, you can direct this stream just for everyone to know. I know a lot of people are still hopping in and everything, but I'm going to try to do this like twice a month, so every second week or so. I'm going to try to do a stream from now on, just to spend time with you guys, just to hang out. So many of you now. I just want to get to know you all and answer any questions you might have about anything I'm working on, or just my favorite flavor ice cream, whatever you want to know. Just want to spend time with the, let me see, how many are we at now? 11,500 of you. So it's pretty cool, pretty epic stuff. You okay there? Yes, let's see who else is here. Blue, welcome. Oh, Odie. Blue is amazing artist. You should check out Little Bluebird on Instagram. Amazing stuff. They got a lot of cons. Very, very cool content. Let's see. Swordplay and Sorcery. Return of the King. The Goblin King. 'Tis I. 'Tis I. Yes, it is me. Hello. Swordplay and Sorcery as well. Really, really great channel. Amazing quality videos. They cover a lot of stuff on DC20. If you want to go check them out too, go subscribe right now. Swordplay and Sorcery, then come back here. Rose says, hello, Goblin. Hello, hello. We have Armin. Samra says, not gonna lie, I was expecting a doe there from Homer. Yes. Who is the Homer? Are you the Homer or am I the Homer? You don't seem super interested. You've really just give me everything here in the booty. Now, let's have a look, see. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to pronounce it. I want to say Spaciosa, but it's not. Spacosa? Spacosa? Or Spacosa? Spaciosa. Welcome. Hey. Hello. Mic is on. Sounds good. Okay, perfect. I'm a little bit behind here on the thingies. Let's see here. Kitami Kitori. Hello. Welcome back. Need to do stuff, so just gonna lurk away. Anyone who wants to just hang out, say whatever to chat, whatever you want to do, it's up to you. You should put it on the background for some noise, whatever you like. But welcome. James Root Butterworth. What a name. Hello, welcome. We've got Josiah Van Vliet. Is that right? I'm so bad at names. Hello. Harman Samra again. Just Doggo. Yes, Doggo. Yes. So this is Blue. She's the mascot, along with the ugly Goblin. Blue is a bit of a mascot on this channel, especially my earlier videos. She is just pooped. She spent a week with her mummy and her aunt, and they've just been running around constantly and playing, and now she's just flopped here. She's barely able to stay awake. Bless her. The real king has arrived, yes, or queen, or princess, more of a princess. Blue's definitely princess worthy. Says, Bluey, it's Blue, it's Blue. The real stars arrived, true, yes. I could just leave Blue here on the podcast on the live stream, and I'm sure you'll all be plenty entertained for the next hour or so, or however long this is going to go on for. Let's have a look at Inferno Donut. Welcome, greetings. Swordplay and Sorcery, seriously, you've got great stuff. And Swordplay and Sorcery has a cool, it's a live play that you're putting together soon, right? Very, very exciting, very epic trailer, I have to say. Josie Van Velt, our esteemed lord has arrived. Lord Blue, she's your good girl. Ahmed says, okay, swap to PC, excited to see the stream. Oh, thank you so much. Let's get through the little hellos, and then we can start doing some Q&A stuff to warm up. And, you know, whatever you would like on this stream, I'm happy to provide within reason. Rose says, I think it's cute the Goblin is unable to pronounce all of any... Oh, yeah, I can't pronounce any names. I'm sorry. I apologize for... just butchering everything. You'd think after having to remember loads of NPC names in all my games and stuff that I run that I get a little better at pronouncing different names, but no, I struggle just a bit. Vladimir Amenta Lopez, welcome. Finally, the chat is working. Oh, I'm so glad. I've had issues with YouTube chat as well before. I remember I was on a stream and I was mentioned, and I was like, oh my god. I couldn't like type all of a sudden. I was like, no, they're gonna miss my message, or they're not gonna know I'm still here. Very stressful times for this stuff. Your butt is sinking. You're just a loaf. Who else have we got here? Marcelius Bird says, oh, sorry, you're helping me pronounce. Thank you. Marcellus. Either way, close enough. I'm so sorry. If you want, pop your how to pronounce your name in the chat. James Root Butterworth, amazing. Mr. Sambra, you deserve the highest of respect. Absolutely, Mr. Sambra. What has Mr. Sambra said again? I've already forgot things I've read. But absolutely, everyone deserves so much respect just for being here, just for supporting me in Blue and hanging out and falling asleep. What else we got? Spaciosa. I hope I'm just gonna say Spaciosa. That might be totally wrong. I apologize. This is just an opening of me just getting everyone's names wrong. Maybe from now on I should just pronounce everyone's names completely wrong. Just butcher everything. I think, and then that way no one's left out. I'm just gonna call you Ham. Respect, Mr. Butterworth. Oh, a nice gentle. I can't talk all of a sudden. Gentlemanly meeting there, a gentle personally meeting there between the pair of you. Inferno Donut says, never until now did I understand how these foolish men could donate so much for a wench to say his name. Ah, I see. Am I a wench now? No. I am wench. The Modern Fantasy says hello. Vladimir says I can't pronounce names, but English it's easy. I'm okay with just Vlad though. Vlad or Vlad? Is it pronounced Vlad or Vlad? I don't know. I've already messed up. You've shortened it for you, made it easier, but I'm already failing terribly. Rose, I feel like changing my name to the most unpronounceable thing ever. Go for it. Yeah, if you want to try me. But be careful, I can also say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Thank God I didn't mess it up, because that would have been terrible. I would look like a real fool. How's the music, by the way? Is the music okay? Let me know if it needs to go up or down. We've got oh, I thought it was tacos, but it's actually got an I in there, or an L. An L. Tackles. I see now. Yeah, I thought it was an L. Taco is Rocket 27. I nearly said 24. Jesus Christ. Is a guy. How are you? I'm good. Struggling a bit with names right now and absolutely sweltering by holding this very large loaf of fluff who's just falling asleep in my arms. My arms are starting to go dead, but very good, I have to say. Just came back from a wonderful con in Trakon down in the south of Finland. It was absolutely fantastic. Love the con. Probably the best con I've ever been to. I've been there 3 years now, and this time I was doing a like a lecture of sorts on world building, so that was really nice. All went really well. So a little tired from coming back from that, but very excited to get back into the grind of YouTube again. So yeah, very, very, very good in general. Let's see here. Spacosa. Just gonna pronounce it differently every time. RPG skill tree when, please. RPG skill tree is actually being made. I was hoping it would be out by not next week but the week after. We'll see how we go. It might have to be out the following fortnight, depending on how much I can get done. I've already dug into it, and there is already so much depth that I've put into just like a few of the nodes. For example, I've been writing up all the rules for like harvesting materials. So the likes of there's kind of 3 types of harvesting. There's mining, there's foraging, and then there is hunting, and then they all branch into different segments or whatever. And so now I'm writing up kind of for each one. There's about 18 or so different materials that you can find. So for example, I was doing mining. So you've got 6 common ores you can possibly find. You've got 6 kind of, I would say, like precious ores or metals that you can find, like, you know, gold, silver, platinum, that kind of thing. And then you've got magical ores. So I've been doing a whole list of those. I've also then been, writing up the properties, what they're like at their base, how much they're probably worth for most of them, and then what magical effects or other effects they bring to the table if you were to forge, say, a dagger out of lead or armor out of lead. Like, for example, with that one, if you make lead armor, as long as you're wearing it, you're poisoned. You have the poison condition, and you can't see very well. You've got a limited vision. You've got lead poisoning, essentially, while wearing this armor. But it's very dense as well, very, very heavy. But it gives you it gives you magical resistance because of the fact, most magics can't see through lead and things. Hello. So I've given it like a magical, you have resistance against magical effects. A few other things I'm kind of on my hand at the moment. I think I'm doing different hides and things from creatures, like basic hides and things you can hunt. So really already very involved in that. Not sure how long it's actually going to take. I realize the last document was about 10,000 words. This is probably going to be around that as well. So I'm just going to put you down here, Blue, on my lap. Is that better? Is that nice? Yeah. My arm's going a little dead. Oh, you're getting caught up in the cable there. Sorry. So yeah, I was just doing a lot of stuff for that. It's probably going to be another roughly 10,000 word document. So we'll see how I get along and how much work I can get in the next week or so, because I kind of basically have to get it done by next week so that I can make the video the following week, all that kind of stuff. So we'll see how we go. Might have to do some filler stuff in the meantime. Good girl. You can go under my desk if you like. You like going there? Yeah, it's okay. So yeah, hope that answered your question. I've missed a bunch of messages since then, but let's have a look. What have I missed out on here? I didn't miss out too much. I think it's Taco is Rocket. Yes, thank you, Vladimir. Has joined here as well in the meantime. Endymon. Hello, Endymon. Okay, but can you say I want to say pneumonia. Pneumonio ultra microscopic silicovolcanosis. Yes, I can. I think I nailed it. Snail man! That's something I can pronounce. They're 2 words I know. Can you say... Okay, Jesus. Let me really test it here. 2 sock cutters, they cut socks. 3 sock cutters, they cut socks. 4 sock cutters, they cut... I see what you're doing here. They cut socks. 5 sock cutters, they cut socks. They all cut socks together. I did slip up there. But I think... Let's say I'll try one more time. You know, for the views. Okay, let's see. 2 sock cutters, they cut socks. 3 sock cutters, they cut socks. 4 sock cutters, they cut... I don't know why I'm getting stuck on the 4 socks. They cut socks. 5 sock cutters, they cut socks. They all cut socks together. Okay, almost. 98% of the way there. James Root Butterworth says... You'll see this in a few minutes, but the music is fine. It's slightly too quiet, but if you could try turn it up, you'll probably make it too loud. Yeah, this is quite a quiet part of the song at the moment. So, you know what? We'll just go back to the start. There we go. Oh my God, more stuff. Let's try Parangaric. I'm not even, dude. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna. I can't. You can just say taco since that's what I'm called on Discord. No, taco. Welcome. Taco is Rocket 27. Josh L says, how has reception to the Pokemon video gone? Any plans for expansions in this particular direction after feedback? Yeah, so I'm kind of a little disappointed with the Pokemon thing, actually. I thought it was going to be like one of those ones that just explode. I love Pokemon Digimon. I thought it was going to go do great. It's been very mid, kind of very typical views for me. Like most average views for me are about 3,000. So it's kind of sitting around there. It hasn't really done anything, which is a shame. But I do I do want to expand on it a lot more in the future. I've got loads of plans. It'll probably go up my Patreon before anywhere else, but I want to add loads more moves. I want to like at least double the move pool, possibly add some additional things in the future one day for like really high level mons. Definitely have already so many things I need to alter within the rules themselves. Add battle items, add different Pokeballs, that kind of stuff, or orbs. I want to add all that kind of stuff because I want to eventually run a little campaign as well, a mini adventure, maybe five sessions or so, with some friends, and I might even stream it if it goes that way. So that's the plan I want to go. So I want to lock down the rules before I do that, but it'll be heavily based off of Gen 1 of Pokemon. You know, going to gyms, doing different challenges, getting badges or whatever it'll be. And every time you get a badge, you as a player will level up, or as a trainer or, you know, summoner, you'll level up with each of the badges, getting different benefits for each badge, and along with like getting new items unlocked for your Pokemon and stuff, or summons. So that's, yeah, a lot of plans for that in the future. But obviously want to go back, put a little more effort into the back into the skill tree, the class of skill tree, finish the role playing thing. And eventually get the crafting done. I'm just doing the crafting in increments. You know, I've got the cooking down. I've got the smithing down. I'm also doing an expanded smithing PDF, really fancy PDF for my patrons that is going to release this month in the next couple of days. I'm nearly finished it. Just taking a lot of time because I'm basically doubling the workload that I put into the crafting, the smithing tree. So basically, not only is there all the improvements for weapons and stuff, like for each creature type, you know, you could take different parts of the creatures, make weapons with them. There's also now going to be something like 5 or 6 additional things you can craft with each creature type for armors too. So that's like, I got a calculator, 12 by 5-ish, it's about 60 more different abilities I'm kind of writing up and stuff and kind of tweaking things, all that kind of stuff. So busy. A lot of stuff I'm trying to get down at the moment, but yeah. Do I need glasses? Ember's asked. No, it's just the text here is a bit strange on my screen. I need to actually, I'll do that. I'll expand the little pop-up that I have for the chat, even though I won't do much. And also, I've separated all my screens here, so I've just got the channel here. It's kind of hard to see sometimes, but maybe I do need glasses, but I don't want to wear glasses because I feel like the more you start wearing glasses, the more you start needing glasses. So most of the time, my eyes are good, just not great at pronouncing. Let's see, what else have we got? Hamburger says, the Goblin Wench arc begins. I should do a character, the Goblin Wench. That would be amazing. I'd love a Goblin Wench in my games. James Root Butterworth says, the Goblin has been in his Wench arc for a while. I'm trying to wean my way out of the Wench arc. Eventually make my way to barmaid or bar owner, innkeeper Goblin. And then from there, who knows what's after innkeeper Goblin? I don't know. But I haven't set my sights too high. But I'll be happy when I run the place. Let me see here. Snailman. Oh, okay, I read all this. I'm gonna skip down a bit because I'm kind of falling behind a bit with the chat. Oh yeah, reception Pokemon. Baby Shark Bro, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Vladimir says, a dagger made out of lead, 1d4 piercing damage and stabbing, but 1d6 bludgeoning when thrown. I love that. Just start throwing the handle at people. It's fantastic. Yeah, no, I've got some plans for all the things. I can give you a little teaser. That's the lead. Well, I've done all the kind of different materials. I'll name a few of the magic ores and such. So like some of the common ores you can get. I was going to do, the very basic ores, for like bronze you need, was it tin and copper? I was going to do like all those individuals like tin, copper, zinc, all that kind of stuff, and iron. In the end, I've simplified it. Sorry for the zoom in and out thing there. It's kind of, I don't know what's happening. There we go. Yeah, so I've kind of simplified it. So, for example, if you roll a 1 for like random encounters with like random ores, you find with the common ores, you find the components to make steel, like one batch of steel or one ingot or whatever you want to say, and then one batch of bronze. And so I've got materials. Iron's the only one, or steel's the only one that doesn't have any like different properties. Bronze is a little different. There's a lot of pros and cons to bronze. It obviously weighs a bunch. It can remove the light property completely from items. If they don't have the light property, they gain the heavy property, and so on. And reduces, if you have armor made out of it, it gives you more. It gives you a little minor damage resistance, so it like reduces incoming damage, but your movement speed is reduced by 10. Got quicksilver, moonstone, and lead and copper. So copper can be converted into actual copper coins. So if you want to just go on that copper grind, you totally can. So those are the basic ones. Then we've got for precious ores, I've got silver, electrum, gold, platinum, and star platinum. Star platinum is like a precious material in the world of Gostar. There's not a 6th one here. It's just silver is more common. So I've just put silver. If you roll 1 or 2, you get silver. And then for the magic ores, I've got Demonite, Radianite, Chaos Ore, Blackrock, Whitestone, and Mithril. So, bunch of fun stuff there. If any of those interest you, I can give you a brief little taster on any of those. Whitestone's one of the most common materials in the world of Gostar. It's like an anti-magic stone. So what it starts doing, every turn you're kind of close to Whitestone, within like 15 feet of it or whatever, you start losing spell slots, starting with your highest one going down. In this case, it would be mana. You start losing mana as well if you're using the class's skill tree. But yeah, there you go. Let's see, what else have we got here? Specios says, let's go. Baby Shark says, I'm repeating myself. What is this? Ugly Goblin is handsome, question mark, says Sam. Hello. Thank you. Very, very shocking, isn't it? Oh, come on. I mean, give a break. The Ugly Goblin is pretty cute. He's got a handsome little smooth head. I thought there was hairs on there. I originally think he had hairs, but now he's just smooth boy. Very, very kind of you to say. Thank you. James, Mr. Butterworth says false advertising. I apologize. I just like the Ugly Goblin. I mean, he's got his wrinkly face that he does the... I can't do it. He does do a face. He does a thing, and that's where the name came. He was originally meant to be called the Dirty Goblin. I felt that would have negative connotations, so the Ugly Goblin it was, or Scrunkly Goblin, but I feel like that doesn't work as well. But you definitely call him Scrunkly. That could definitely be a nickname he has. Vailnor, is that right? Vailnor says, I can't stay long because I have work, but I'd like to ask a quick question before I go. Oh, right. I hope I missed this. What is your process for making these skill trees? I'd like to start making my own. Really good question. I start with 3 core concepts. I hope you're still there. So I start with 3 core concepts of where I want to branch out. So, for example, say I'm taking... let's look at One Piece, for example. I look at One Piece, I'm like, okay, you could just start doing all the different powers and abilities that all the characters have, but I'm like, okay, no, if you break it down as basic as you can get to the powers and abilities you want to get. For example, One Piece, I would say, you know, it's hockey, it's the hockey and the blah, 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 devil fruits. But then hockey breaks into 2. You've got armament hockey and you've got Conqueror's hockey, or not Conqueror's hockey, the other one anyway. So I'd break it down into those 3 components and then start branching out from there. You know, keep it as simple as you can to begin and then branching out. With the class skill tree, I wanted there to be something magical orientated, something to do with like tanking-ish, like combat, and then like specializing. So like that was the kind of green branch. You've got the red branch, and you've got the blue branch. You've got mysticism, mystic branch, the physical branch, mystical branch, physical branch, and the other one, specialist branch. But yeah, that's... I go 3 and then I branch it off, and then I see like where those 3 also, like what happens when those two kind of neighboring nodes cross over. So for example, I did a lot of Gish powers for body and magic. So that was kind of like magic comes from you, and it's also kind of like I put a lot of healing in there as well, because magic and body in my brain is like repairing the body, all that kind of stuff. The specialist branch and magic, obviously hyper specific magic. So I was like, okay, Druid's Wild Shape is there. You've got kind of jutsus and stuff, kind of infusing magic maybe into weapons, that kind of thing. And then Spellbroken I had to put in there as well, because that was my own personal class that I've made. And then body and specialist, that was just combat maneuvers in my head straight away. So that's basically where I that's how I go about it. Typically as well, like with the classes one, I looked at every class that exists, powers that already exist, and I'm like, how can I simplify these, and also have them kind of like branch off and expand. It's taking steps, one step at a time. That's the best way to go about it. Keep it as simple as you can and start slowly adding complex stuff to it. See where branches and abilities can connect and cross over. Try to build some synergies between them, so there's this natural progression. What makes sense for this evolution of a power. So, you know, eventually if you get really good at combat maneuvers and stuff, you'll learn how to attack faster, how to attack more, so extra attack should come eventually. Trying to find a value for each thing as well, like how valuable are these things, how many levels do you want a player to be before they reach certain nodes. So for example, with the extra attack, I wanted them to be basically a minimum of level 5 on average to get extra attack. Obviously, you can find other sneaky ways around that, but yeah, I think it takes a while. If you're taking HP, you're taking maybe 1 stamina, 1 mana every round. That leaves you basically with 2 or 3 points to spend. And the way I kind of counted all that and accounted for that progression, a lot of work. Now that I say it out loud. Yeah, just taking it step by step, playtesting a lot, playing out builds in your head, and also keeping in mind, because it's so open, people can go anywhere. Oh, see you, Sam. I just saw that they got to go there, and thank you for coming and for the compliment. Okay, let's keep going. What we got here? Ooh, I've just skipped a bunch of things there. Now, Armin says, the summon stuff is exciting. I'm thinking of adding the summon stuff for my NPCs so they have creatures helping them do tasks instead of giving most people access to the weakened full counter. Okay, so my summon stuff for my NPCs. Oh, clever! Yeah, very, very cool. That makes a lot of sense. That's a great idea. Yeah, using the summon tree for NPCs. Fantastic. I love that. Brilliant. You can take the commoner class, just give them 1 or 2 abilities, and now they're a unique character who's good at certain things. Vladimir says you can cross over the smithing and summons tree, like making a sentient weapon for a creature's essence. Yeah, from a creature's essence. Oh, that's kind of cool though, like taking the essence and putting it in a weapon. That's a cool idea. Maybe we'll do something like that. There's definitely going to be some like interactions between smithing and alchemy, for example, like making like bioengineering stuff, and kind of tech things. Very fun stuff. I can't wait to eventually get there. So there will be stuff for making little minions in the crafting tree alone as well. Inferno Donut says, once a wench, always wench. Yes. But I will rise beyond. Demon's Prize says, hello, welcome Demon's Prize. Saying that in such a polite tone seems wrong. So I'll try again. Welcome, Demon's Prize. Welcome to my stream. It's gonna be so badass and awesome and edgy. Welcome. Josh L, hello. Says maybe it's in the full PDF, waiting for payday to pick it up myself. No. But is there a way to pick up one of the elemental types as a secondary rather than a creature type? Sorry, as a secondary rather than a creature type. Example, undead fire creature. Oh, I see. Yeah, so the damage types and the creature types. As of right now, no. But there will be in the plans I have for new attacks and stuff like that. I plan to have some kind of basic attacks and stuff like that, or elemental attacks that will be based on each type. So for example, there will be basically, like if you've played Pokemon, it's like getting the what's it called, the hidden move. So there'll be a lot of moves that do that. So every type will be related to a damage type. For example, undead will typically do acid, poison, or necrotic damage, depending. Dragons will have access to almost every type, as will elementals, which is, you'll see that in some of the powers and abilities, in some of the moves, there are specific attacks that are related to different creature types. And I've given a sample of like how those could evolve. For example, there's like the fire punch, the ice punch, and the electric punch. So that's kind of going to be an example of like how those attacks will level up with you too, like a cantrip would. So for example, the fire punch, I think, does an extra d6 of fire damage to your melee attacks, but as you get to higher levels, like 5th level, I think you get like 2d6 that you add of fire damage to your melee attacks. So those are like specific elemental moves that kind of most people can learn, but then there will be similar ones. They won't be as powerful. They maybe will do d4s and things, but there will be a melee one, a range one, AoE ones that are related to specific creature types. So again, Celestial will do radiant damage. Poison and acid will be for plants, more or less. Some might get radiant damage as well. So like for plants, you know, eventually at higher levels they can start doing radiant damage as they become a big enough plant and are able to do solar beam and stuff like that. Trying to think what else. Constructs, mainly bludgeoning, piercing, all that kind of stuff, but we'll also be able to do thunder damage, so a lot of constructs will be super effective on each other, which is kind of cool. But then again, depending on the construct you are, I think rock will do thunder damage, but then, you know, steel and stuff might be able to do lightning and things like that. So that's the plan in the future when I eventually add an expansion to the expanded summons skill tree. But as of right now, there's no picking you know, the damage type and the creature type, but you will be able to use more types in the future. Hammock says, making puzzles right now and hoping my players don't notice I copied a Skyrim puzzle. What would you usually do for puzzles? For my puzzles, what I've started doing recently is not giving an answer to them. I think that's the best way to go about puzzles, because if there is one specific answer that the players need to find, they'll be beating around the bush for a very long time. But come up with the puzzle and that you think there'll be an answer for. So obviously in the Skyrim puzzle there's a specific answer, but if players start to do something clever and creative that gives a completely different answer, just give it to them, and then they feel smart and then they feel creative rather than shutting down cool ideas. That's a little hack behind the screen. I don't have answers to your puzzles. Just present a problem and see how your players resolve it. I do this with a lot of things as well. I do this with sometimes I will do it with diseases as well. I recently have been running games for my partner as well and our friends. My partner is playing a apothecary. It's a homebrew class by the dungeon dudes. Yeah, and so there's a lot of diseases I put in my game that they have to try to figure out and cure. A lot of the time I'll have all the components for the disease, how it works, all this kind of stuff. In some cases there might be specific general plants or herbs and stuff out there that could maybe assist and cure this, but it'll all be down to how they roll, and I leave it to them. They're the doctor, so I like my players to figure out how they want to solve it, and then I'll be there to back them up and give them the leverage and answers that they need in the moment. There's also a big massive disease, kind of big bad, that is the general issue of the whole campaign. It's a big monster. It's like a philosopher's stone gone wrong that's infecting and diseasing people and all this kind of stuff. They get this thing called red blight, and that's a big kind of incurable disease right now. And I have a few ideas, you know, loose ideas on how it could be cured, but it's going to be down to the players in the end of the day, how they're going to solve this, how they're going to get around this big bad. I threw a Trask at them when they were level 2, and they had to run away from a city, and that was fun, like throwing things that are far too difficult, typically CR-wise, at players is always interesting, because your players aren't like you as a DM. As a DM, you have like a detachment from your characters and NPCs and monsters and stuff. You don't necessarily care if they die, whereas the players, they are that character. They will do everything they can to survive, to succeed, all this kind of stuff. They're not going to ever pull their punches. They're always going to go all out to achieve success, to escape, to live, whatever. So don't underestimate players and what they can achieve, even at low levels, at 1 or 2. I kind of ranted a little bit there, but I hope I answered your question. Let's see. Hammond says, some of the stuff. Oh no, I've already answered that. Yes. So Spud, hello Spud. Welcome. I hope I'm not too far behind here. You say Goblin. All caps. How are you doing today, mate? I'm pretty good, Spud. Thank you very, very much. I've just come back from a con, as I mentioned, which was great. I did a big talk there. I'm just going to turn the music just a little bit because it's going to be quiet there, so a bit more ambience, and I'll turn it down again when it gets too loud. But I'm pretty good. Doing a lot of writing and catching up and getting back into working again. I've been away for a week. So, you know, it's classic where you do all this work before you go. So there's content to be there for everyone while you're away. So you can take the holiday. And then obviously when you come back, you got to put all the work, like a lot of energy back into stuff again. So you can catch up with yourself again. So, but I'm good. And luckily it's all work I love doing for you guys. So, yeah. Can't complain, Spud. How are you? It'll probably be a while before I get your answer as I'm scrolling down to here, but yeah. Oh, you have a question for me as well. Spud says, I sent this question in Discord and it's pretty much answered, but most likely to be in the roleplay skill tree, but I was wondering if it was not, how do I go about making my, but I was just wondering if it was not. Oh, okay. So you have a question. So, oh, you've got the question down here. Okay, sorry. I was trying to figure out what the question was. Let's see here. You said the question is it possible to use one of your skill trees to make a charismatic liar? Yes, I did see it actually. I never got around to answering it. I apologize. Charismatic liar. Basically make lies that forces characters to believe it to be true. Yeah, there's literally, I've got a bunch of powers and abilities. Let me show you what I'm working on at the moment. This hasn't changed much from when other people have seen it because I'm mainly writing abilities down now rather than playing with the skill tree itself. But a lot of the concepts are here. Let me hop over to this. There we go. Hopefully the chat will reappear in here. But let me get it up here. Yeah, so right here, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see that I've literally got, it's one of the earliest abilities there. It's called Silver Tongue. So that will be all around giving you bonuses and benefits to lying and coming up with different types of deceit. And it'll be more than just, you know, verbal lies. It'll eventually expand. Obviously you got deceitful flourishes here as well, so it branches off into like combat slightly, where you can fool people thinking you're going to attack from the one way and you do something else, giving you advantage and things on attacks. Venomous words, then you get better at like actually physically harming people with your words, and on it goes. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff, and then there's like a counter ability kind of chain there, which is Ear of Deceit. So you've got Silver Tongue, and you've got hold up here. Let me just move over a little bit. Why isn't it moving? Hold up. Sorry. I don't know why it's not moving across. Who knows? It's okay. You got ear for Deceit here as well, so that's like a countermeasure. So like if you want to be really good, like kind of detective-y vibes, that's a whole other thing. And then all this kind of purple area will be kind of more positive, inspiring stuff. So you got auras and stuff. You got Song of Rest, Bardic Inspiration, Aura of Protection. Auras will eventually, that Aura of Protection will level up too, and it give you additional benefits as you move through it. And there's also Sweet Talker, which is more on the side of persuasion rather than deception as well. Loads of stuff here for role play purposes, and they'll kind of work similarly to you know, the Flash of Genius ability, and I think what's the Hobgoblin ability? There's another Hobgoblin ability that can give you these bonuses in a tight situation. So it'll be basically like, I don't want to go for a pool of things that you can draw from. That was originally what I was going to do here, like with Karma and Guile and Genius. I'm still debating if I want additional pools, like resources. Thing with resources is there's so much about you. I don't want there to be so much to keep track of for players. But we'll see if I can come up with an alternate solution for that. That's something I'm trying to work out at the moment. But yeah, there'll be loads for making liars. Absolutely. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Vladimir's smithing, summoning crossover would be ideal for creating a magical girl. Amazing. Swordplay and sorcery question. Yes. I can hardly keep up with all of the rules of any TTRPG. How do you manage to remember every mechanic you've created for the skill tree if you don't have them memorized? I'm I'm fooled. I don't remember them all. I have like a sense of everything that I've created. It's very different as well when you, I think when you're, learning something someone else has made as opposed to something that's your own. I think when you write something and you're that, intimate with it, you definitely remember everything you've done a lot more. It's like conversations and stuff you've had. You usually remember what you more or less said in conversations. Most of the time, I say that, but that's actually wrong as well. But often, though, I don't. I do have to refer back to things I've already made and like double check. Is like, so yeah, I did use this certain bonus to rage. So rage does use adrenaline. Okay, just remember that. I go back. I have the document there, so I go back and I check whenever I'm stuck. But for the majority of stuff, it's just, I guess I've been revising it, using it constantly. So I'm just, it's very ingrained in my head through repetition. Physically writing stuff out, all that kind of stuff. So hope that answers your question. Inferno Donut says Mithril is always a classic. What special abilities did you give Mithril made artifacts? Good question. I'll tell you. So Mithril, I've got the basic stuff. So with this, weapons made from Mithril have the number they need for critical hit reduced by 1. Armor made from Mithril also renders people immune to critical hits, which I think is pretty common for Mithril stuff, and it also grants them an additional +1 to their AC, as well as removing any disadvantages you might have while wearing that armor. So, for example, plate mail, I think you have disadvantage on stealth and acrobatics and stuff. It'll remove those if you make plate mail out of Mithril. I've also got some like mechanics here for like how many, I guess the best way to describe it is ingots. Like how many? What did I say for it? I say ores, but it basically when you refine the ore, you get an ingot. I say refined ores as well. But you'll need a certain amount of ingots to make different items of that material. I've also explained that you can't mix materials. I've got a loose hair that keeps going up my nose. You can't mix the same materials. So you can make individual refined materials if you're using the smithing skill tree, and I put some stuff in there. But to break it down, for small weapons like daggers or anything smaller, you just need 1 ingot. For any weapon that's not small, that's bigger, any weapon that doesn't have the heavy or two-handed property requires 2 ingots, and any weapon that has the heavy or two-handed property requires 3 ingots. Light armor can't be made out of ingots. That's a separate thing with the foraging and the hunting. You make light armors with that. Shields require 3 ingots, medium armor requires 4, and then heavy armor requires 5 ingots to make. So you need to do a lot of kind of collecting of materials to eventually make like a full plate mithril armor, for example. But there's like a percentage chance that you find these different materials in the wild, and as you progress through this node in the skill tree, you'll start off only being able to get like common ores, but then as you progress, you'll learn to find precious ores, and then eventually magical ores. But every time you go and do a survival check or whatever, based on that survival check, so long as you're in an appropriate place, you'll find a different material. So for example, I think 20 or higher, you find magical ores. 15 or so, the DC is 15 to find precious materials, and then 12 for common. So I don't want to make it too difficult, and you can do that once per day. You can go out and look for an ore, and it's not like it takes very long. You just there's the ore, and it's a nice little flavory thing when you're traveling across the world. I'm sure people will find a way to break that. So I hope that answered all your questions there. Spud also has asked, could the line be a physical thing or mental? Oh yeah. So I hope I I answered that with the, you know, the venomous words, deceitful flourishes, all that kind of stuff, heartbreak and all that kind of thing. No worries for sending loads of questions. Ike, hello Ike, how's it going? Hi, watching with the brother on TV. Always good to see you. Ah, it's so nice to see you too, Ike. And hello to your brother. Welcome. Such a nice, like, I don't know. There's something awesome about being able to watch something on a TV, YouTube on TV. It's just big comfort vibes. It's like I love gaming on. I'm gonna bring this music back. It's getting a bit too crazy. I love games. I love video games, as you all probably know. But there's, you know, Steam is great for getting all the games, just having access to things, access to mods and everything else. But I've grown up with playing consoles, like playing PlayStation, playing on a TV. There's something more wholesome and homely to me, and unwinding, relaxing. When you get to watch something or play games on a couch, it's just a good vibe. And I hope you're having good vibes. Let's see here. Vladimir says, James Root, I love this. All these conversations happening on the side. It's very cool to see. I had an idea for Chainsaw Man and Final Fantasy 15, but yeah, also Magical Girls. Ooh, that's so cool. The summon skill tree with the artificer and all that kind of stuff. I can't wait to eventually get there with you guys. I just wish I could work faster. So that's the thing. I have so much stuff. They're all in my head as well, and it's just about getting them down on paper. I've got so much stuff for the skill trees that I want to eventually get out to you all. It's just a matter of time, but I'm hoping, you know, come maybe Christmas, we'll have a pretty solid basis for the classes skill tree with crafting and all that kind of stuff. That's my goal, but we'll see if we can get there. Let's see, what else have we got? Give us some more stuff. Bruno, welcome. Bruno Lima says observation, armament, and conquers. Yes, sorry. So yeah, the hockey branches into observation, armament, and conquers, and then for the devil fruit, you've obviously got the other three branches from those. So that's what I was going to do. I remember now for One Piece, it's going to be one skill tree separate, like for devil fruits, and one skill tree just for hockey. So two separate skill trees. And as you got in the devil fruits, there's Zoan devil fruit, there's Paramecia, and the other one, it's gone from my head. But yeah, there's three in each of them, which is very convenient for myself as a game designer. Yeah. Josh L says, how comparable is the classes tree with base 5e? Like, if a party, 3 members wanted to use the player's handbook classes, and 1 wanted to use yours, would they balance? They would, to an extent. They would play very differently, because the person obviously using the classes skill tree can either hyper specialize, or if they struggle with the classes skill tree, really excels when you really become good with specific. If you really kind of specialize in what you do. If you just take a bit from everything, you'll find they'll probably be a lot weaker in a lot of parts. But I'm hoping as well they'll get a bit more bolstered when the roleplay skill tree and the crafting skill tree come into play. Right now, obviously, they might lack a little bit on the roleplay side, just a tad. But I was pleasantly surprised when I did run the game for my patrons, how well it worked, how powerful they were. They took out a T-Rex in a single turn. They were like level 5 the party, but it was insane. The last player didn't even get to unfortunately do anything to the T-Rex. I think the T-Rex was actually dead halfway through the round, but I wanted to let everyone have a turn. So hyper specializing, obviously you're going to be pretty strong, and it's got a curve, the skill tree, whereas I see like the classes as they're more like steps. You steadily go up. The skill tree starts off, I think, a little weak, but as you go along it starts to rapidly ramp up in power. You start off a little weaker typically as classes, but the payoff is the longer you continue down the skill tree, the stronger you'll get. So you might find that there might be weak at the start with the campaign, they might struggle, but they will start excelling as time goes on. But more or less, it's made. yeah, 100% to be compatible with 5e. Let me know how it goes though in any of the comments in my videos on Discord, whatever. I'd be very curious to see how it works in more kind of a long form campaign, but that's how it's designed to work anyway. Armin says, I noticed a lot of the builds and how the meta has become with some of my players. For our roguelike version, players tend to focus on getting X ability, then spending a level catching up. Yeah. This is the thing, yeah, you can get the stuff early. I found that people maybe will forego HP and stuff early on, so they'll be super squishy so they can get the really powerful thing, and then eventually catch up with HP and other some basic stuff. It's really interesting, and that is typically how it goes, and I kind of like that. As a player, you can choose to make that sacrifice, but obviously if you're going for a long-term campaign, you've obviously got to stay as that weaker level 1 character for quite some time. You obviously have the cool, powerful abilities, but you squishy as hell. Someone in the game I ran for the one-shot, they're all level 5. One of the players had like 12 HP. Really hard to hit them, really good at saving throws and stuff, but one hit, if they got hit, they didn't get hit at all. Amazingly, they would just be straight up dead from the things that they were fighting. Like there was things doing like 70 something damage or whatever on a turn, so they've just been gone. But they were so efficient in combat that, and we're actually going back and replaying just one big combat session, just because I feel like, because it was one shot and everything, we wanted to get through the story, we couldn't dive as deeply into the combat as we wanted, but fun time anyway. Not sure if you intended that, but something we all have noticed as some things feel this is Harmon also continuing on with the roguelike that they're playing with the classic skill tree. Not sure if I intended the, on resources, like catching up on resources and stuff, if I intended that, but something we all have noticed as some things that feel super nice. Oh, I'm glad it feels nice though. I'm glad at least early, that you can get the nice things early, but then catch up with your resources later on. That's cool, and that was intentional for sure. That is why I don't think I'll ever make a HP a thing that is automatic. Nor will I do that with mana or stamina. Those will always be things you have to purchase. So you always that's essentially what balances this whole thing, is choosing what to get. It's like a great example is someone compared it to Magic the Gathering. You go through your deck, you're looking for, you draw a bunch of cards and you got to choose one. You're scrying or whatever. You could take the really powerful card here, but taking the mana, the land card, is going to be so much more valuable in the long term. But that it's always way more tempting to take the super powerful juicy card rather than the mana. And that's just how it goes. And I love that. I love that gamble almost that you have to take. Spud says, there is this character from one of my favorite webtoons that's basically has this one ability, that was an allying ability that was really simple, but also really creative way to use a skill. Oh, I'd love to know this this webtoon that you're talking about. Let me. Oh, I just dropped the chat. Let me open back up. So they say, I can also send my idea of the skills to you as a DM if you can flavor. Honestly, if you've got any ideas for the skill tree and stuff like that, just drop them in the Discord. In builds or whatever, or mechanics is probably a better channel for it, to drop any ideas that you might have. And I'd love that, because obviously I DM way more, so now that I'm getting to the roleplay skill tree, I'm asking my partner, asking other people, like what aspects do you really crave having as a player in terms of roleplay and everything else? What would you like to be able to do? Because I don't have that insight as much. I've played a bit, I play often as a player enough, but I'd love to get a bit more insight. So yeah, if you have any ideas, let me know. Let me know any suggestions you might have. Obviously, I can't guarantee they'll all be in there or whatever, but happy to listen to your thoughts. Yeah, you have a good rest of the stream. This type of Q&A is awesome, and I hope to see more amazing content in the future. Cheers. Thanks again. Thank you so much, Spud. Thank you so much for joining. I'm not sure if you've dropped off or not, but yeah, thank you so much. And I hope to do more of these in the future, every second week or so, so not next Friday, but the following Friday, I'll be back here again to chat to you all, hang out for a while, for an hour and a half kind of thing. Already been here an hour. Damn. But yeah, we'll, I'd like to keep doing this for sure. So, you know, if any of you have missed this one or haven't been able to stay as long or won't have to drop off at any point, just know I'll be back here in a couple of weeks. So yeah, you can hang out a bit more. Dionysus Marinos, is that right, Marinos? Welcome, by the way, thank you. You said, if I'm putting a new group together, what TTRPG would you recommend? Okay, DC20 is awesome. If you want something... Okay, D&D is great. I think D&D is really good. But I also think if you've got players who are a little more advanced, no TTRPG is a little better, I would go DC20 because it gives you a lot more satisfying crunch, gives you a lot more options as a player. Or if you want something a little more rules light and very, very flavorful, beautiful world, just full of inspiration, I have the book right here. I would recommend Break. I managed to read all of these rules pretty much in like a day. I don't know how many pages in this book, but I pretty much got the whole thing down. There is 470 pages in this book. I managed to read most of it. And I know how to play the game in a day. I knew how to play the basics of the game in very little time. It only uses a D20. Even if you don't have a D20, on every one of these pages, there's these kind of 3 dice. So basically, you can just flick to any page and get a dice roll. Which is... Everything about this book is so well made that I cannot recommend it enough. It's so digestible. It is just peak game design in every sense. So I've yet to run a game with Break. I'm so excited to run a game with Break. And I'm just sharing it with everyone. But I've gone through it. We've made characters and stuff like that. You can make a character in this with 15 minutes. Really fun way to make characters in this is just rolling for everything, which is so much fun. You can you choose, where in this they don't have classes, they've got callings, which I really like. So it's basically what you are destined to become, rather than it being like a job or whatever. This is just how you are. This is who you were made to be. Very anime, heavily oriented, very inspired by anime, video games, Ghibli, Final Fantasy, Zelda, all that good stuff is in here. There's even like a race you can get here that is, so there's humans, but then there's a whole, I think they're called native humans, but then there's another alternate race of humans which are called what are they called again? They're from another dimension, but essentially they are isekai humans. And there's a whole bunch of different types of isekai humans in here as well. So you can be, there's idle rich is one type. You can be in education. You can be in education either as a student or as a faculty member. Military and law enforcement. They have NEETs, which is basically not in education, employment, or training. So you're just a gamer basically. So much fun stuff in this. I would recommend that if you can get it. There was a Kickstarter for it. I managed to back late, but if you look up Break RPG, you should be able to find on their website either the PDF or the book itself. Still available to purchase. They might even have some books, but yeah, amazing system. Let me see here. James Root Butterworth says, this is a private conversation, I'm going to move on between you two. So Hammock, you say, Gabe, you're on the big screen now. Woohoo! Look at me. I've taken up the whole screen, baby. This is all me. I'm a whole TV. Isn't this great? Wait, I'll go right up. Hold up. Let me see if I can cover the whole TV with my face. Hello. I can see you. There we go. Hope I terrified you just enough there. Hammock. Emic says, oh yeah, we're powerful. Okay. James Root Butterworth says, so you've done JJK, Pokemon, and the Bones of One Piece. When are we getting Agres... Okay, I can't pronounce things very well. Agretsuka? I don't know that show. Let me look it up so I know that show. To answer your question, I don't know. If I start watching it and it's super cool, then maybe sooner than later. But let me see. Oh, right. This is the one where it's the red panda in a just basic work environment, and then they go and do heavy metal rock karaoke in the evening. I've watched one episode of that actually. That's the roleplay skill tree. Just take the roleplay skill tree, don't level up on anything else, and there you have it. You have your own Agretsuka skill tree. That's my answer. There we go. I hope that answered it. But also in terms of like, because they're all animals and stuff like that, I do plan to make a whole book for eventually in the future with all the skill trees in here, which will also be used for Gostar and stuff, the world, like my own homebrew world, and different ways to choose races and branch off into like sub races and things. There'll be a whole thing on that. But that is going to be long term, sometime next year, maybe something like that. Speciosa says, idea, make a live stream where you run D&D sessions with chat, putting polls in chat for decisions. I like it for sure, but the only thing is it takes away the agency from the players. But I do like, you could totally have one of the characters be the chat, or I could run the game for the chat and the chat can decide. That could be really fun. I'll have to remember that. That could be exciting. I definitely have to wait till like we definitely pick up more, I think, with the chat, because I think it's nice when you have like loads of people jumping in a poll. I also need to figure out how to do polls on this. So eventually, though, that could be definitely something very, very fun to try. Maybe when we get to another milestone on the subscriber count. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe and like the video while we're here. James Root says, considering the delay between when we typed and when we received messages, he might have given a heads up on the next decision before describing what happens. Yeah, so sorry for... yeah, that's true. There is a bit of a delay. So yeah, it would take a while for you're absolutely right. It would take a while while role playing and everything else. There could just be that fun, awkward pause where I just wait politely to see what the chat says and decides on. But yeah. Mobut says, bro actually got aura. Thank you. And thank you. Nice jawline. Thank you. Very, very kind of you. I got aura right now. I'm just not listening. It's fine. Thank you for the aura compliment and jawline compliment. Is the aura based on my jawline, or does the jawline come from the aura? I'd love to know. Amber, DC20 is coming to Foundry VTT2. Yeah, very exciting. Josh L says, will you have a conversion guide for skill trees for DC20? I know other systems are more popular, but getting into DC20 on the ground floor would be cool. Yeah, 100%. Once I have my base classes skill tree sorted, like the roleplay, crafting, and roleplay, crafting, and combat, I 100% plan to convert everything I've made to DC20 and maybe a couple of other things, maybe break even. That is the plan. I would love to start doing stuff like that. And I think that's maybe where I'm branching into in the future. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, it might be its own system one day completely. But I also like the idea of what I have right now working so well for 5th edition, and also maybe for other systems. That way as well, I avoid competition. I don't have to be the guy who's competing all of a sudden with other systems. I'm the fun guy who's making them all friends and like, hey guys, you can all come together with this cool thing I made. Which I think also suits my own personality a bit better. I'm definitely someone who much more prefers bringing people together, bringing things together, making things work in unison with each other. And hell, you might even in the future, if you're using the class as skill tree, you might all be able to use it while running multiple systems. That'd be crazy. It wouldn't work at all. But I like that idea that you can use any of the things I'm making for any system. So we're all friends. But yeah, that is the plan, 100%. I don't know when it'll get. Once I've gotten skill trees down, I'll start looking into that for sure. Twin Steel, welcome, hello. Sorry if you can hear my WhatsApp pinging me occasionally. Twin Steel says, I'm at work currently, so just dropping in to comment while muted. Congratulations! Thank you so much. I don't know what I'm being congratulated for, but thank you very much. And welcome. Lovely to have you pop by. Hope you're still here. Harmon says, thank you for the stream. Going to do some stuff for work, so won't be able to watch, but I will leave it on in the background. Thank you very much, and thank you for joining. It's lovely to have all the interactions from you. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Good luck with work. Twin Steel says, and have you tried Nimble 5e? I'm really loving it. Okay, I'll take my answer off the air when I watch this later. Okay, let me see. Oh, you're gonna come back. Cool. Let me look up. I've heard of Nimble. Nimble sounds very familiar. Nimble 5e. There's so much stuff out there now. It's great. I don't know if you can hear my dog clawing the ground there. No. I've seen images for Nimble, but I've not tried it out. Looks pretty neat. I'll have to check it out. 100%. Thank you very much for the suggestion there. Hammock says break is digestible. You're telling me I can eat the book? No, but it does have a nice smell actually. Is the whatever ink they used here? It's a very nice ink. But no, you can't eat the book. But it does look very edible. It's just beautiful. It's just artwork that you can just eat up. There's these beautiful comic strips, like very flavorful comic strips throughout the whole thing. Look at this map of the world. Like, oh my god, it's just so good. It's so delicious. In a sense, in like an artistic sense. Like the weapons. Look at these weapons. Look at the mounts. I gotta show you the mounts. I mean, if you haven't, check out my little short on break. But like, it's digestible as in so easy to absorb and process, and everything else just the information goes in and it stays in and it just makes sense. It's just so well done. I'll do you one better. One player using a warlock and the chat is their patron. Oh my god, that's fun. I like that. They could definitely, if you've got clerics and warlocks, that's a fun one with the chat deciding stuff for the patron and the that's amazing. I love it. Hammock says, I think Dog did a live stream. I don't know, Dog. D&D one shot with the chat as players. Didn't watch it, but it seemed they seem to have solved it. Okay, I'll have a look at that. I'll check out Dog. Cool. We've got Mobut. Hello, Mobut. Skill tree for magic items. ? Then your plus sword doesn't fall off at level 10. I've already done. I love designing weapons that level up with you, and I do have plans for a weapon skill tree, which will be incorporated into essentially like what's the word? My brain's going dead now. It's getting a little late here. So Hades, like a Hades roguelike is what I'm gonna put together at some stage using the combat skill tree and stuff. Where basically I'll take abilities from the skill tree and put them into different tables that will be associated with different gods. And you move through randomized dungeons, and every time you go to a new one, there's a chance you get a few options for what god you want to go to. And if you succeed in that combat encounter in that next dungeon, you'll get a few boons. You'll kind of roll on the table, see what boons you have offered to you. You get to choose one. And as you go through as well, you'll be able to upgrade your weapons. But it will be more so using the smithing skill tree that I'm working on. So you'll be able to upgrade your weapons and armor. And it'll be similar to that. I'll take all the different benefits that you can get. And they'll be based on rarity as well. And you'll be able to get the different benefits and add them to your weapon. And that's something you can do with the smithing skill tree that already exists. Is every time your players maybe reach certain tiers of level, very, very easy to do as well. You're just like, okay, level 1 to 5, you can choose any of the level 1 to 5 abilities, or it's your 1 to 5 abilities on any of the weapons that already exist there in the crafting thing. Get to the next level, they can choose another thing. Or as a DM, you can also consider just choosing whatever is flavorful for the item. But maybe it'd be nice to give your players a few of the options that are there. Try that out. See how it goes. Instead of them having to craft it, just have the weapon evolve using those tables. And Mobut says Lobotomy Kaizen skill tree. If you don't know, YouTube search it. Lobotomy Kaizen. Sounds scary to look up, but I might have a look it up in a minute. Maybe on April Fools. I'll check it out. I'll check it out for sure. That could be a vibe. And Hammock says Lingbacher would eat the book. Who is Lingbacher? I don't know who Lingbacher is, but I'll take your word for it. Okay. I've finally got to the bottom of the chat. There we go. I'll take a few more questions, or if there's anything you want me to go through in this chat while I'm here. I'll be here for another 15 or so minutes. I think it's 1:15 now, so I'll hang around for another 15 minutes just to chat, answer any questions you might have, yeah, I can relax for a moment now. I don't feel like I'm catching up with the chat. It'll probably take you all a few moments to catch up with what I'm saying anyway. So in the meantime, I will do something funny, like make my ring disappear. Hold on, let me see here. Do a magic trick for you all as well. Already things coming in. Here we go. There's the ring. And if I pop it in my head, there we go. Let's see, what have you all been saying? My fish guy in the one shot. Oh, Lingbacher. Yeah, sorry. Lingbacher would eat the... Sorry, I went over my head. Definitely getting too tired here at the moment. Because I thought it was your character for a second that you said Lingbacher, but because it was in the chat as well, I was like, maybe it's someone else that's like, I should know, or everyone probably knows. I don't know. 100% he would eat the book. Lingbacher, by the way, amazing character who has been run by Hammock in our one shot, which I need to go back and edit at some point. We've recorded it. I'm going to break it down into a more digestible kind of podcasty thing for people. But yeah, it's a fun time. So let me see here. What else have we got? Rose says, was there talk about having stream goals in the future? Yes, thank you for bringing it up. So yeah, in the future, going ahead with these streams. Mobot says, good luck, bye bro. Okay, see you bro. So yeah, the plan is with these streams is hopefully either by the next one or maybe the one after that is I'm going to start doing some giveaways and things. I'm going to put down a kind of like a stretch goal kind of thing for the stream. We're going to start looking at both magical items that can be submitted to the Discord. You can submit magical items for the class skill tree specifically, or builds as well, your own custom builds. But I think come the next live stream that I'm going to do, thank you also for everyone who is still here. I'm also going to announce this in the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, do hop over there. I'm going to make a little channel where we can make magical items. Can't believe I'm only saying this now at the end of the stream. But I'm going to make a stream where people can submit ideas for their own magical items that complement the skill tree. I'm going to pick the top 3 or so and announce them in the next stream. So you can have a shout out here and people can discuss the magical items, how we can use them in like a build or whatever. And at some stage then, I'm going to do some giveaways. And they will either be giveaways for the winning, the top picked magical item or build or something. Or I'm also maybe, if I can get polls working, everyone can enter a poll at some point in the stream. And if we reach a certain target, so I'll start kind of low enough with each stream, maybe we'll increase it as we go, we'll see how we do it. But let's say $50 or something for the stream. If we reach $50 for the stream, either if your build was submitted or your magic item was submitted, we will create you a custom art piece for that build, for that character, or for the magical item, or just your unique custom character art concept for your for whatever your D&D characters are, for whatever your TTRPG characters are. We'll be doing some sort of giveaways if we reach that thing. If we don't reach it, there'll still be a giveaway regardless, maybe a free PDF, something like that. But let me know what you think of that. I'll be discussing it a little bit more in the Discord. But that is the plan. That's the plan eventually with these streams, is to start doing giveaways. We might start off small, where it'll just be, we'll just test it out. We'll do the build of the week, I suppose, where I'll be sharing content that you make next stream. There might not be giveaways for it, but there will be. You'll get the honor of being chosen as whatever the builder of the week. You'll get a little reward. I might even give you a little title on Discord. How about that? Special title. So that's the plan. Also, Speciosa says an arrow to a skill tree ? Maybe in the future. That might suit a spell skill tree that I'm deciding to do. So I'm deciding to do a spell skill tree eventually, where you can design your own spells, increase them, level them up. But that will probably be, you can probably use that for. Oh, ADHD DM. Hello, you got here at the end. Wow, thank you very much, ADHD DM. You got it right at the end. Yeah, 10 minutes to go. Thank you so much for the super chat. Very, very generous of you. I'll give you a little like here, and I'll give you a little heart. That's amazing. Look how huge the text is. Also, for anyone who doesn't watch the ADHD DM, he's like my rival. He's my Sasuke to me being Naruto, whichever way you want to do it. We're pretty much at the exact same subscriber count and have been for quite a while. The ADHD DM makes phenomenal videos, like blows my mind with their editing. So cool. Go subscribe to the ADHD DM if you haven't already. And they also do all the editing. You do all the editing, I believe, as well for. It's gone from my brain. It's embarrassing. Put it in the chat if I can't get there fast enough. But man. See, I know you, but oh my god, they were doing the clue stuff and everything. I'm so sorry. This is very embarrassing that I've forgotten his name. It happens though, just when you're on the spot like this. But you do some sick editing. Deficient Master, thank you so much. Jesus, the Deficient Master. I know you do a lot of editing for their stuff. If you haven't also checked out the Deficient Master's recent but actually D&D series, amazing. And Taylor's been editing all of that. The animation for their basically the Deficient Master has taken the game Clue and made it into D&D, and the animation that the ADHD DM has done for that video is insane. It's so cool. It's like an hour long as well. I was like, that is, for me as someone who edits a lot as well, it's like, Jesus, that's impressive. So yeah, subscribe to the pair of them. Thank you as well. Thank you again, the ADHD DM. And also, while you're here, that's something I plan to do as well. So many plans. But we were talking about the expanded summon skill tree, and obviously I want to add a load of moves, everything else in that. I was mentioning I want to do a one shot and stream it, maybe, possibly. Well, maybe like a 5-shot is the best way to do it. I don't know. We'll see how we go. But I'm gonna design gyms and stuff that you can fight, and every time you defeat a gym and you get a badge, you level up as a summoner. So it'll be like a summoning school, baby. That's probably the best way to go about it. But I would love the ADHD DM to join in this fun little session whenever we do get off the ground. Plans, so many plans, so many things to do. But yes. Josh L says, I see the Planescape book. Was the adventure as fun as it sounds with the glitches and such? I've actually finished, or actually gotten to use the whole campaign yet. I've been using bits and pieces of it for my own games, which is usually what I do. I usually just tear apart books and stuff from D&D. I take the modules and I just rip all the guts out and throw them into my own world. But there's some fantastic stuff in here, genuinely. Really inspiring. Love Sigil and all the kind of details they go into. They go really fun campaign. It does seem to go like a little flat in the middle, but the fun kind of glitches and stuff with your characters is such a great idea. And dying is something you do a lot in that game, which is fun. I like it a lot. I've read most of it. It's very solid stuff. Amber says, custom character art isn't cheap either. No, absolutely. Custom character art isn't cheap. For anyone who missed that as well, yeah. In terms of giveaways that we plan to do in the future in these streams, it will be custom character art or custom magical item art of the magical item that you design. But yes, that'll be the plan anyway. And then finally, we have Vladimir saying, "Yo, quirk skill tree from Boku no Hero would be that'd be pretty cool." From My Hero Academia, doing a quirk skill tree. I mean, in the end of the day, superpowers are just class abilities. So it's funny. There's so many anime things that are just basically superhero stuff. Which can just translate to the skill trees that already exist. A lot of the time in my mind, I'm like, okay, what's something that hasn't been made? So, like, for the example, the expanded summon skill tree, I kind of directed it towards Digimon and Pokemon, but you could totally use it for Yu-Gi-Ohs, or you can use it for Bakugans, or you can use it for all the collectible things, anything that has collectible creatures. Heck, people are already saying you can use it to make freaking whatever you want to make anime magical girls. Use it for whatever. Use it for NPCs. This is the thing. And it's something I would like to do when I eventually put all these skill trees into a book. Is show you ways that you can use each of these skill trees for unique campaigns and stuff. So for example, the classes skill tree, you can use that obviously for regular D&D. You could use it for Boku no Hero Academia as you go down certain paths. Boku no Hero Academia is interesting though, because you do develop specific superpowers, and I think the One Piece skill trees that I have planned for like the devil fruits and stuff, don't know why I picked up a tripod, but I need something to point with, but with that skill tree that I plan to do with the devil fruits, where you can level up your devil fruits and expand, that is a concept in a lot of kind of anime and a lot of just classic power fantasies, where you have an ability and it gets better and better and you use it in more unique ways. That is something I do plan to do with the devil fruit tree, and it could apply to so many of these different shows, like for example Boku no Hero Academia, Naruto even, but also I could also use I also plan to make a spell skill tree in the future too, so that'll probably work for Naruto and things. But adding that to a book will be handy, you know, allowing you to see all the possibilities that you can use these different skill trees for. They're not just the JJK skill tree, for example. I make everything as flexible as possible and as open-ended as possible, so they can fit into almost any campaign that you go into. With the JJK skill tree, it is like a cursed pact skill tree, so it is you can use it for your warlocks, giving your characters boons and stuff. You can use it for curses, you can use it for Curse of Strahd, whatever. Anything that takes away, like gives and takes away, that works perfectly for. You know, with great power comes great sacrifice and everything. So a lot of the stuff I make is designed to be flexible and applicable to a lot of things. Specialist says, I have to go to work, goodbye. Oh no, sorry, you have to go. You love my work. Thank you very much. Lovely chatting to you. Thank you so much. We're going to wrap up the stream very soon anyway, so but it was lovely to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Bad Idea Generator needs to have a new name because Bad Idea Generator has so many good ideas. But they say, throwing someone else's world building in a blender and making a lore smoothie is an important step in world building. 100%. I just had my talk recently with at the convention I was at, and it was all on world building. And a piece of advice I gave to people is to not be afraid to also admit where your inspiration comes from, because it does a lot of things. You know, if you say, oh, I got this idea from Skyrim, for example, people can be then like, oh yeah, I see that much better now. I understand what you're going for here. And you can all get into the world. You can immerse yourselves a lot more in the world. There's nothing wrong with sharing the inspiration that you took something from. I advise it. And that's why everything is. There's nothing original in the world anyway. Nothing is truly original. Everything just stems from something else. Yeah. Josh L says, Dragon Shard sword in Fizzbands is a good example of forging a magical sword with a creature essence like they discussed earlier. Very cool idea. And I like the idea that the sword can almost like transform back into the creature at times, or then be wielded as a weapon. One of the weapon abilities in the smithing skill tree that I have as well is that your sword can be equipped as armor as well, which I think is kind of fun. It's nice to have that back and forth, like transforming weapons. Such a cool idea. Amber says, agree, Bad Idea Generator. Studying history is also amazing. How many cultures had similar developments at around the same time without context? Mind blowing. I know. I love looking into, you know, taking actual fantasy or like, you know, other you know, fictional stuff, but also looking up real life stuff and mashing those two together and finding common things between the two of them. It's a whole other thing I can get into. I can get far too into, but yeah, I totally agree with you. Also, yes, thank you very much, Rose. Join the Ugly Goblin Discord if you haven't, because we can chat about all this over there at some stage in the future. I'm on there as often as I can be. I've been away for a little while, but I'll hopefully be a bit more active now again. But last thing that's been mentioned here from Vladimir says, he says, do the One Piece skill tree on a stream. I run a One Piece campaign with some of my friends, and I did a lot of stuff, including skill trees for hockey. I'd be happy to bring some stuff there. Sounds like an idea. If these keep going, that'll definitely be something I can cover for sure. And I haven't got to it yet. I've got a bunch of other things I'm putting more of my energy into at the moment, but I've got the rough bones sketched out. So eventually when that comes on, I can definitely pop it on stream sometime and we can go through it. But I think with that, I think we'll leave it there. Thank you all so much for joining the stream. It's been really, really wonderful. And this is hopefully the first of many, many, many. So thank you for being here for the very first continuous live stream. And I'll see you all next time. We'll get some builds going and stuff in the next stream. Yeah. Send you much love wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you all next time in a couple of weeks. Alrighty then.